It's a Teen Talk Skating podcast where I embarrass myself. Hello, and welcome to episode number 61 of the Teen Talk Skating podcast. My name is Van Gogh, and we have a very exciting episode here for us today, discussing, of course, the 2025 World Figure Skating Championships, at least the first kind of half of that with the pairs and the women, as you saw in the title, which I hope that you read. I hope you guys are all doing very, very well. I'm kind of doing good. I honestly feel good. I feel good, and I feel like the world is not going to end anytime soon. So that's going for me. Anyway, I really do actually want to get right into the program of the week because I have a lot to talk about in this episode. So I don't want to waste any time complaining about the existentialist crisis that I'm going through. So let's go to our program of the week before I go absolutely crazy. Thank you very much. Thank you. I know you're welcome because you don't want to hear me be in an existentialist crisis all the time. Let's go to the program of the week. Okay, it's a good one too. I really do like this one. Program of the week. Okay, so our program of the week comes with a bit of a story today. So I have a friend who's in orchestra at our school, and she mentioned to me that one of the pieces they were playing was the Bacchanal, I think, from Samson and Delilah by Camille Saint-Saëns. And I was like, oh, I've heard of that before in figure skating. So I decided to go back in time and watch an older program with Samson Delilah's Bacchanal. I guess not old, but this is Gabby Daleman from Canada and her free skate to Samson Delilah for the 2019 World Figure Skating Championships. I really love Gabby Daleman. I feel like she could always put on a good show no matter what. And she was just such a feisty skater. I think oftentimes figure skating to classical music can be so like, it's nice, it's, a little bit of a drag, but she adds so much personality and so much like slayness to her skating. Like, I can't explain. It's just like slay. Like I just can't. Like, oh my gosh, she's such like a diva on the ice when she skates, and I love her Samson Delilah. So here at the 2019 World Figure Skating Championship, great start, beautiful triplets, triple toe. The first jumping passes go really well. The second half, the jumping passes they don't go as well with a couple pops, but who cares? The parts of this program I really do enjoy is the choreography. So, right from the start, there is this kind of sense of like us, we're taking you along a story, and she really does feel like Delilah somehow, and she does really feel like in that story. It starts off a little slower. It's a little, what is this? It's a little strange from a faraway land or something. And then it kind of gets into those jumps, starts getting more upbeat. In the middle, we get that beautiful step sequence. She does in the beginning because she kind of does a Ina Bauer and then she's like laying back for like a second. It's beautiful. And then she does another Ina Bauer and then she transitions into a lunge and like going across the ice rink. I'm just like, oh my gosh, that is like one of my favorite like pieces of choreography from her because it's just so simple but it works so well. And then more of the jumps, the spins, I feel like her spins were great as well. But the highlight of this program is the choreo sequence because this is like one of my top 10 favorite choreo sequences of all time because she does four different jumps in a row. She does two kind of split jumps and three, and then the third one and the fourth one kind of stag jumps, or they kind of more like jumping up, and it's right on the music, right on the beat. Da 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 da. Those like cymbals clashing, she jumps up. Cymbals clash, she jumps up, and it's just so like, yes, 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 everything and a bit more. You know what I mean? Like, oh my gosh, such a good program for Gabby Daleman. That choreo sequence lives rent free in my head 24/7. And so it's a great part of it to watch. It just gets your energy up and it's a beautiful end to an amazing program. And then into that very last spin, she puts her like hand up and the other hand on her heart. It's just like, what a good program. Like what a like it tells a complete story, and that is something I feel like you don't see a lot in figure skating. It's like this told me a good story from beginning to end, and it's a beautiful program. So go check it out if you have time. Gabby Daleman, her 2019 free skate at Worlds to Samson and Delilah. Go check it out after this program, or no, this podcast episode. Now for your main episode. It's a good one. I'll tell you that. That was your program of the week. Okay, we have somehow made it to the 2025 World Figure Skating Championships. This season feel like it flew by in a blur, but we are pretty much almost at the end of the season. After this is only World Team Trophy, and then we are done, people. We are done, and we can go take our summer vacay from all the drama. But anyway, at the 2025 World Championships, I am gonna mention that I'm doing this review of Worlds because it's such a big competition with so many different points to make. I am doing this review of Worlds in two different parts. So today's part, or the episode part one that you're going to listen to in this episode, is focused on the pairs event and the women's event. And the next week's episode, which will be released on the 5th of April, will be a focus on the ice dance event and then the men's event. So just so you know, I'm not only going to discuss pairs and women, I'm not only going to discuss ice dance and men. They're just split up in two different episodes. So as you know. Now, today's episode is a little strange for two different reasons. Um, Most of my episodes have notes behind them. I've written like, 20 pages, not 20 pages, but like a good amount of notes to kind of support me, like help me talk about these skaters. Because of the timing of Worlds and because I want to get out these episodes like as ASAP, I don't want to like have you guys wait like 2 weeks for my Worlds review. This episode has no notes or like a script, I guess, in quotation marks. I don't really do scripts, but it's like more notes to help me guide along, and I don't have any of those this episode. This is really my raw, free talking of it. And I'm actually also the second reason why this is a little different is that I'm recording this on Thursday. So basically, I've decided to kind of like let my voice rest between the days. So basically, it is technically Thursday today, and I usually record on Friday, but I'm recording on Thursday because I'm going to talk about the pairs today, and then tomorrow when the women's have finished, I'm going to talk about the women. But just so you know, the pairs event just finished about 2 hours ago. So this is really my raw, honest reaction to the pairs event. I haven't thought about it a lot. I haven't looked at a lot of people's opinions or results. So, this is my raw, honest reaction. I was able to watch the second half of the free skate that they showed on TV, at least on cable. But yeah, this is my raw reaction. Okay, and so the second reason why this episode's a little weird, it cut off, sorry. The second reason why this episode's a little weird is that I'm recording this on a Thursday, and I usually record on Friday, but I decided to record this on a Thursday night because the pairs just finished today, and the women will finish tomorrow on a Friday, and I don't want my voice to kind of die, and so, yeah. So just so you guys know, like, the pairs event just finished about 2 hours ago, so this is really my raw and very honest reaction to the pairs results. I was luckily able to watch the second half of the free skate because that's what they showed on cable or whatever. But anyway, this is my raw, honest reaction to the pairs event. Like, I really haven't thought about it. I really haven't like done a lot of research and seen what other people are saying and things like that. This is my raw, honest reaction to the top nine because I wanted to do place nine. I was gonna do top eight, but then I'll talk about nine, because I like place nine. Anyway, in ninth place in the pairs event, I am gonna go through this a little quick, not gonna lie, because I feel like I would rather talk about the women's event because I know the women's event is gonna be crazy. But in ninth place in the pairs event at the 2025 World Figure Skating Championships is the team of Golubeva and Jutopoulos Moore from Australia, who, they are one of my favorite kind of like up and coming teams who, consistently to me, they always impress me and they're always going and they're always like fighting for a good program. And I do think here they put up a great fight. Here in the pairs event at Worlds, they actually did earn a personal best in the short program. They did struggle with their twist. They get negative GOE on their twist. The twist does tend to be like the element that just kind of haunts them. Kind of just they didn't really have the best landing on the twist, and that is an element that they are have unfortunately kind of struggled on these past few like competitions they've been to. But that is all okay. And then they were ninth place in the free skate with the season's best. Again, another issue on the twist. They did do a very decent triple toe double axle with a little bit of negative GOE. Um, and then their unfortunate, like, major mistake was a fall on the triple loop throw. But I will admit that that fall on the triple loop throw was one of the most graceful falls I've ever seen. She just plopped down so gently, and it was still fine. It was still beautiful. But this was a good fight from this team. And they are, again, as I've mentioned a lot about this team, Golubev, Jutopoulos more, they are quite a young team. They did come up from juniors just a couple seasons ago. They do feel quite young. They still have a lot in them, I'm sure. And I'm happy to see them like progress even more. I do think their umbrella as a cherubic free skate is very fitting and very beautiful to them. And just I like the voices in the back and I like the singing and it just flows well. It's just like it's a good program. It's a good program, and I really did like it. And so great development from their team for sure. In eighth place at these World Championships, we have the technicians of pair skating, Pavlova Sviatchenko from Hungary, who, their technician skills really got them up here, whereas their components may not be as strong. Their technician skills are really what brought them up here and what brought them up here very strong. In the short program, they skated all clean. They got great Jewy on both their twist and their triple let's throw, which is obviously what they're looking for. They got a season's best in the short with a clean program. The free skate, a little bit more of a struggle. We did unfortunately have a fall on the triple toe, double axle sequence, and then another issue on the side by side jumps when they pop the triple sal into a double sal side by side. So again, maybe not the best program in terms of those jumps, but those other elements like the twist again, the triple flip throw, the triple loop throw, all good. Their lifts were really good as well. Again, another team I really like to see develop more artistically. I do like their Pirates of the Caribbean program, but it does didn't feel like really like too artistic. Their presentation could definitely be better, and that is kind of reflected in their lower component score compared to some of the others in the field. But technically, like in that regard, they are quite an excellent team. And they could really make a big surprise at future competitions if they're able to kind of work on their artistry, which I do think they have the ability to. In seventh place, we had Ellie Kam and Danny O'Shea from the US skating here at home, which is obviously, I think, an always scary feat for any team is to be skating at home. I really do think they came here for redemption after that disappointing third at US Nationals, I believe fourth at Four Continents. Here they were a good fifth place in the short program with a pretty decent skate for them. A little bit of issues getting out of the triple sal side by side and then the triple loop throw. But the twist, that's an element that's improved so much from them. And they are one of those teams for me in pairs that have improved like the most for me. Like it's just night and day looking at last season compared to this season for them. They've really made a name for themselves. They should be completely proud of themselves here. And then in the free skate, was a little bit more unfortunate. Um, big step out stumble on that triple flip throw. The triple sal double axle had a step out as well, and then they did unfortunately have a fall on the triple loop throw. But those lifts were like very much one of the highlights of the whole pairs event for me. All three of those lifts were beautiful, especially that last lift with the high upbeat music to Stand By Me was so beautiful to watch. I would trust Danny O'Shea with my life. I feel like he could lift anybody. He could lift a whole building and I would not be scared. I honestly would not be scared. And Ellie Kam, she's improved so much as well. Um, new partnership. She isn't as experienced in pairs, but she looks like she's been skating in pairs for her whole entire career because she is a really good skater as well. And the two just make a good partnership, and I'm happy to see that from them. Last season, again, maybe not the best for him. This season has really gone upbeat, and even though maybe they didn't finish as high as they would have liked at Worlds, they are still a really great team who's made a lot of big success this season, which is amazing for them. In sixth place, we have another U.S. team, the current reigning U.S. champions of Efimova and Mitrofanov, who, you know, this was such a moment for me. They were ninth place in the short program with an unfortunate under rotation on their triple toe side by side. Everything else was good, but that mistake did lower their score to ninth. And then in the free skate, this was the moment of the entire pairs event for me, was their free skate. This was an absolutely beautiful, perfect, clean free skate. Was it, not perfect, but the only thing they really struggled with was both of the side by side jumping passes, but the rest of it, from the twists and the throws and just oh my gosh, this was beautiful. Especially the throws, the flow that Alyssa Efimova got on those throws on those landings was absolutely stunning. And then the lifts were amazing as well. That final, like, those final 10 seconds where the crowd was already roaring and screaming, and the reactions were everything. They were so excited. It was crying, it was laughing, it was just every emotion you could see on their faces when they ended that program. They earned a fourth place in the free skate, which is a major result for them with a new personal best. I think a better score than they like ever had. Like, yeah, their last personal best was only a 128. They just bombed out with 135. So again, amazing result for them, and just what a great program. That was the way you want to end off your season for sure for FE Movement Mitrofanov. And I will note that because of their placements, the US is guaranteed 2 US pair spot at the Olympics, and they are possibly can get 3 spots for the Olympics, if that makes sense. And so that's a really major result for the US. And I have to say, a lot of those people who were doubting the US pairs and saying that the field was dead, the field was weak, think again, people. Think again. This was a really good result. 6 and 7 for US pairs is really good at the Worlds for sure. In fifth place was the world champions from last year from Canada, Stellato and Deschamps, who, I did predict that they would be on the podium in third here, but unfortunately they just didn't have the competition that they necessarily would have wanted. Compared to last year's competition at Worlds was really amazing. In the short program, they were seventh there with a slight twist error, a slight triple loop throw error, and a slight spin error. Not huge errors. GOE on the other elements was still good, but those, minor errors that gave the negative GOE was not what they wanted for sure. And then they did have a very redemptive free skate, in my opinion, to bring them up to fifth overall. Again, struggles on the side by side jumps were slight. The triple toe, double axle just got into a quarter triple toe in a sequence, and then the triple styles were, a little shaky for sure. But the twist at the top of the program was so high. It was so nicely landed. It was so like textbook. And then the triple sow throw was beautiful. Hanging on for that triple loop throw, fighting for that triple loop throw. Deanna Stellato, fighting for those landings for sure. And then again, beautiful list from this team. Maybe this is not the result they would have wanted again after becoming the world champs last year. Fifth place, maybe not the result they were looking for, but I do think they are a team kind of like building back this season. Maybe hasn't been their season necessarily, but building back and going on that Olympic podium is still a high possibility for them looking out about a year from now. I do see that in the future for them just because of what happened today and what happened in short. Maybe this was just one, okay competition, but I do think they're rebuilding. I do think they're an amazing, strong team with an amazing story. I think they're really good and they will continue to impress us for sure. In fourth place was the Georgian team of Metlakina and Barulava, who were fourth place here in the short program with a clean skate there, except for a very slight error on their death spiral at the very end of the program. But otherwise, it was a clean skate for fourth in that short program. And then the free skate was a lot of errors kind of adding up. They weren't huge errors, but they were errors adding up. They did get the highest score twist in the whole free skate. A whole 2 points added on to the twist was major for them. But, a little bit under rotation on the side by side jump, and then some issues on both the triple flip throw and the triple loop throw. But otherwise, they were good. Again, another team where they would have gotten a lot of a higher score if those minor mistakes hadn't captured them. But because of that, they didn't get the positive GOE they really needed to push them up further and potentially reach the podium. But this was a really good, solid attempt for them. Again, putting their name forward for that Olympic podium. Again, Paris is really messy too right now, so I'm like, you could definitely make it. You could definitely not make it. I don't know at this point. Metlakina Barulava, a newer team, but they are a team that is fighting for that spot for sure. In third place, we have Sara Conti and Nicolo Macci from Italy, who were the bronze medalists 2 years ago in 2023. They make their return to the podium here. They were very excited to find out when they were guaranteed a podium spot. Here they were second in the short program with a clean skate. It was, one of the best skates I've seen from them in recent memory for sure. That second place short program. Their third place free skate. Only major errors were again side by side jumps with an under rotation, unfortunately, on the double axle, a quarter on the triple toe. And then a very slight error on that triple south throw. But this was a very nice moment for me. I really did enjoy their free skate. It was nice. It was really nice. I did like the Papa Can You Hear Me? I do think it was going well. I really do hope honestly that they keep the program for these Olympic season. Obviously, skating for Italy, they will be skating at home if they can make the next Olympic team for Italy, which would be a major result for them. I have no doubt that they will not that they won't. I have no doubt that they cannot wait, does that make sense? I don't know how to grammar. I have no doubt that they won't be at the Olympics next year. I do think they will be there, in Italy skating at home. It's a really good result for them. Maybe not the cleanest skate, but really good results regardless. Okay, I will say second and first place were extremely close, and these results really came down to a whisker, a very teensy tiny whisker of only 0.71 points, which is crazy. But the second place finishers were Hasse and Volodin from Germany, who I did predict in first place, but they are so close to first place. This result was crazy. Hasse and Volodin, they were third in the short program. This was a clean skate from them in the short program, but perhaps I do think that the only thing that they could have done better in a sense, besides from being complete clean, maybe I do think that Jui is what got them a bit here, especially on their triple sal. Didn't get as high Jui. If they gonna had that high Jui, they could have won the world title. And lots of what ifs for sure. But good technique overall. Their free skate was such a big moment for me because it was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. The twist was so high on the live stream. They said it was 11 feet high. Their twist was, which is crazy to me. Half of that height, kind of. Not even. I'm not even half of that height. Wait, am I? No, I don't. Yeah, I am. Yeah, makes sense. But first place in the free skate was a huge moment for them, with a new personal best. Everything was clean. Everything was clean, and so they got into the last lift, and it was so epic. The crowd was screaming because they had a big skate, and just at the very end, just exiting the lift, it just was unfortunately a little bit unstable on the landing. It was almost like he was gonna drop her, but he didn't, luckily, and. Because of that, unfortunately, they did get negative GUE. But if they did not get that negative GUE, if they had gotten the positive GUE on the lift, they definitely would have won the world title. So it really is devastating that it came down to that one lift in the free skate. They were still first there if it were not for the first place team of Miura and Kihara from Japan. Now, I will say a lot of people have been debating this already. I've already seen it. Hasebo Initiative first. No, Miura and Kihara have been first. Whatever, guys. Let's just talk about it how it is. Okay, we can't change the past. But Miura and Kihara were first place in the short program, and that is really what saved them because their short program lead would not, if it was lower, it would not have, maintained their world title, or like regain their world title back from 2020, 2023. In the short program, they did have it under rotation on their triple toe side by side, but still first place there. Their free skate, a lot of little teensy tiny errors on the side by side jumps, a slight error again. Triple loop throw and triple flip throw had double footed landings on both of those ones, but luckily their short program lead was enough to um, carry them over to the podium. It was very tense. It was very emotional watching the kiss and cry for sure. I know a lot of people will debate this for sure for ages and ages, and this is something we'll talk about in 10 seasons from now. But yeah, Miura and Kihara were the winners here. I don't really have a strong opinion on Paris. I really can't say anything. But both of those teams had moments. Miura and Kihara with the short program, Hase Volin with the free skate. It really did come down to whisker. I could see it going either way, honestly. But overall, this Paris event was scary, but it was powerful. I would really love to highlight the program again of Efimova Mitrofanov. That was my favorite program the whole evening. It was so emotional and so powerful, and that is going on the program of the week sometime in the future for sure. But that is all for the pairs event. It of course is only Thursday night, so I will see you tomorrow when you'll hear from me tomorrow when I discuss the women's event. But anyway, for now, bye bye until tomorrow, which is gonna be like one cut of the audio from now. So yeah. Hello everybody. It is the next day and I have just finished watching the 2025 World Figure Skating Championships Women's Free Skate. I I genuinely think that took years off of my life watching that free skate because holy moly, what actually happened. I have no thoughts. And again, this is my raw reaction. I have no time to write down notes or anything. I'm literally gonna give you my like full reaction to the whatever just happened, whatever I just watched for like 2 hours. I'm like, holy moly, what happened? Like this was such like I've never been so in the moment while watching this game. I was sitting on the edge of my seat for every single of those jumps, every single one of those step sequences, everything was on the line for me, and I'm just like, I cannot. But I know this like segment is gonna get really long, so I probably should start talking about the skaters right away. I'm gonna start from 12th place down. In 12th place, we have from Switzerland, Kimi Rippon, who, is a skater who we've seen do really well before. Last year, if you recall, she was fifth at Worlds with an amazing skate there in both of her programs. Here she was good, but just not as good as last year, unfortunately. Here in the short program, she was 10th place with a clean skate. Just didn't get really the Jewy that she really wanted to be able to get into those higher levels. Technically, she was really good components wise, not as high as some of the other skaters, but that's okay. Her free skate, though, I would really love to highlight because she did unfortunately have two falls at the beginning of her program. She fell first on an under-rotated triple Lutz that she wanted to do triple Lutz, triple toe on, but she couldn't because she fell on the first triple Lutz, under rotated on that, and then she fell on a fully rotated triple flip as well. Because after that jump, after those two falls, the crowd like started like screaming for her because they were so into her performance. They were so like, we're not letting you give up, Kimmy. Like, let's keep on going, Kimmy. And it just speaks to how like supportive the crowd can be in figure skating. And it was just like a moment that I love so much about this community is that we support skaters. And Kimmy Rapon's a great skater. I have to admit that, or I have to say that because I really do enjoy her watching her skate. I think she has great lines. She has great movement on the ice. She has good expression. She's good. The gladiator theme was good. Maybe the jumps just weren't there with those falls, and then later a quarter call on her one of her combos because of her jumping. But you know what? She kept it going, and that's why this performance had so much heart, and it was so like perseverance, and it was just so it was good. It was really good from Kimi Rippon. Even the mistakes were like whatever, move on, and then the rest of the jumps were good. And that crowd was super supportive, and I really did enjoy Kimi Vaughn's free skate. And apparently Switzerland has earned 2 spots next year, so good job for Switzerland, yay! In 11th place was a name that I believe I predicted this correctly, or maybe I predicted her in 12th. I can't remember. But in 11th place from Canada, we had Maddie Skeezes. This is a really good result from Maddie Skeezes. I think last year and the year before, she didn't do as well. Last year at skating at home in Montreal, she was only 18th. The year before this, she was 13th. This is her best world result yet with 11. So that's a really great result for Maddie Skeezes. Even considering that, this season's kind of been up and down for Maddie Skeezes. Like, she really hasn't had, like, a lot of consistency going on with her, lots of scores in the 170s, but she really put it all together here to earn a 190, which is a really solid score. She was even 6th place in the short program. She made it into the final group of the short program. She had the highest rated combination with the triple Lutz triple toe. That just like it was the best triple Lutz triple toe Maddie Skeezes could do. It flew all the way across Canada from British Columbia to Newfoundland, you know what I mean? It was beautiful. Is that Prince Edward Island? I have no idea. Sorry to all the Canadians who listen to my podcast. It was just a great skate. Got her into the final group, skating first in the final group with her new Butterfly Lovers program. I really do enjoy this program. I really think it fits her well. Like, not gonna lie, Danse Macabre was good, but like it's just this program just feels like it fits Maddie Skis as well. And I really appreciate that from Maddie Skis. I really do enjoy Butterfly Lovers. Butterfly Lovers. Can't say that. So here in the free skate, there were mistakes, unfortunately. She did pop the initial triple Lutz triple toe into a double Lutz triple toe, but literally she got that triple toe done. That is her like talent, is to get a triple toe done no matter what. In the second half of the program, she did have just a little bit of stumbling on the triple toe, double toe, and then the triple loop, double axle, double toe. Both of those were a little tight, not under rotated, but definitely a little bit tight. But still a really solid skate. This is the best I've seen her skate in, a decent amount of time. And so really speaks to her ability to really put the jumps forward and put everything together when it really matters. The jumps that were clean, like the triple flip and the triple loop, they flew so nicely. The landing was so soft. It was everything that Maddie Skeezus is good at. She put it in one package and she put it here, and good for her for doing that for sure. So great for her. Very close to earning Canada 2 spots, but unfortunately, not this time around, unfortunately. In 10th place is a name I am a bit, I'm a bit sad to say because I feel like she had such a good season. I thought maybe this was her chance to be sneaky. I always say that she is my silent but deadly skater, and that is Cheon Kim of South Korea. We know Cheon Kim, earlier this season she had pretty good results, and then everything really came together at the last two competitions she's been to. The Asian Winter Games with a score of 219, and then a four continents victory that honestly would have almost gotten her the gold here. Yeah, it would have almost gotten her the gold here if she had repeated those two four continents performances, and honestly maybe would have, considering maybe World has higher scoring potential. But just two unfortunate skates here from Cheon Kim that she really didn't want. Of course, coming in here as the bronze medalist, the reigning bronze medalist from Worlds, was really looking forward to that podium again. In the short program, she was 11th with a fall on her very valuable triple triple toe combo with a UR under rotation on that triple toe. Unfortunately, that really did bring her score down. I will say her free skate to me was redemptive. It was all clean until the very last two jumping passes. She was ninth in the free after unfortunately having an under rotation on a triple, or a downgrade on a triplets that she unfortunately kind of like bailed out of. And then she also got a quarter call on her triple flip double toe on that first jump. But it was a performance that still had heart, okay? It had a lot of heart. Despite those mistakes, it had heart in it, because in the past I didn't really connect a lot to Cheon Kim's skating and like the artistry in it, but like this was such a moment for me. Hitting those spirals and the choreo sequences, everything. It was really good. And I do think this is one fluke competition. Oh my gosh, I just really wanted Cheon Kim to be on the podium because I thought that she kind of did have the potential to be first here for sure. I thought she was going to be the big surprise. And, despite, maybe not having the best performances, this is still a good performance here for her. And so pretty decent outing. Maybe not the best score she's had this season, but definitely something to be proud of regardless. She's had an amazing season. I definitely know that she will be building back even stronger, and I'm hoping we see even more amazing programs from her. In ninth place was another skater from South Korea, that being Haein Lee, who has not competed a lot this season, but coming here into Worlds with really good results. She was the silver medalist 2 years ago in 2023, ninth place here overall with a seventh place short, just an unclear edge call on her triple flip. And then in the free skate, I really did enjoy her free skate. I thought it was dramatic. I thought it was fitting for her. I feel like it was a style that I feel like we haven't seen a lot from Haein Lee before, and so I really did like it. Just a turnout on that first triplets, and then she meant to do the combo on the first triplets in the program. She was very gutsy and tried to do it on the second triplets in the second half of the program after already doing so many jumping passes. She did under rotate that second triplets triple toe, and then under rotation on the triple flip double axel. Regardless, though, I do think it was another performance that had a lot of heart and it had a lot of performance in it. It was a style I liked to see in Haein Lee, definitely for sure. Good skater. And so I really did enjoy that skate from her as well. Um, Going into eighth place, we had the 2025 European champion Nina Petrokina, who, Nina was such a huge surprise at Europeans that, I really did think that she could have been a huge surprise here as well. This was a really good performance from her. The eighth, I believe, is her best world result ever. And this was still a great performance regardless. Yes, previously she was 16th last year, so from going 16th last year to 8th this year, huge result, cutting obviously that kind of result in half if my math is, mathing, but obviously going off that momentum, huge momentum from that Europeans win. In the short program, she was an unfortunate 12th place there. She did unfortunately pop her triplets triple toe into a triplets double toe, and with a little bit of negative GOE, and that reduced base value really did affect her overall score. But redemption is what she proved in the free skate. Her free skate to Dune has just been like on fire this second half of the season. Here in at Worlds, maybe not comparable to her Europeans performance, but still pretty good. Her only major mistakes were a quarter on her triple flip, and unfortunately, she did get a repetition on the second triple flip attempt that she did. But if she had not done that, she would have very much rocketed up the standings and definitely been at least seventh place, I feel like. Maybe a little higher, I have no idea. But Nina Petrokina is definitely still a skater we should all watch out for because that Europeans win kind of came out of nowhere. And I feel like she could definitely do it again. I feel like she is a skater who keeps on fighting through her programs. That free skate was definitely a hard one. It was a hard one with that triple flip, but still such a good fight for those jumps. And I really did appreciate that. And then in seventh place, we had a skater who the spotlight was on very much on because she was kind of like the burden of her whole country was kind of on her. That is Nina Pinzarone of Belgium. If you recall, she really, really wanted to earn Belgium 2 spots for the Olympics because Luna Hendricks, the world medalist from Belgium as well, she's been on leave because of injury this season. And so the weight of the world, the weight of the entire country of Belgium was on Nina Pinzarone's back to get these 2 Olympic spots, and she did it. In eighth place with her Swan Lake program, in the short, she only had a issue with the triple S triple toe getting a quarter on that second jump, but a really good skate as well. Her free skate in the Handmaid's Tale is anybody still sure if it's supposed to be the Handmaid's Tale or not? Nobody's sure, but Benoit Richaud, whatever. Um, you know, Nina Pinzarone, she has unfortunately struggled a little bit with under rotation calls in the past, and that did occur here as well. Under rotating the second part of her triple Lutz triple toe, getting a quarter on her triple Lutz double axel double toe, and then another under rotation on her triple sal. But regardless, she was very much happy when the program ended for sure because she knew that she put out a good enough performance to get Belgium 2 spots, and that's all that mattered. Okay, it really really great. And this is the best performance we've seen from her this season. This is a performance that would have earned her second at Europeans with this kind of skating. And I do think Nina Pinzarone, we had that rocket kind of start to her senior career 2 seasons ago. And she is, maybe this season hasn't been the best. Last season wasn't the best, but this is a great result to end off her season for sure. And I really do really like Nina Pinzarone's skating. I found that she is choreography wise very nicely with nice lines and clean skating there for sure. Okay, the top 6. I have so much to say about everybody in the top 6 that, that's why I kind of rushed through the first 6, so I'm very sorry for them, but I probably have like 20 minutes of things and 6 people to talk about. So we're gonna try to figure it out for sure. In 6th place from Japan, we have Wakaba Higuchi, who I have kind of called the comeback queen, the hidden comeback queen. I don't even know. She's kind of appeared out of nowhere. Because she has had so much struggle in her career. The last time she medaled at Worlds was back in 2018. The majority of these people did not compete at the 2018 Worlds. I honestly don't think anybody here competed at the 2018 Worlds except her, probably. No idea, but no idea, but Wakabi coming back is such like a power move for her. Here in the short program, she was 4th place with a clean skate, really good. I honestly think she kind of deserved better in the short program, but judges do whatever you want. Um, and then in the free skate, straight into her Stranger Things free skate, that it's just like one of my favorite free skates. Like this will be a program of the week in the future. Her Stranger Things free skate is so powerful. Her major mistakes were an underrotation on her triple Lutz triple toe, a slight spin error on that first spin, and then unfortunately she did a triple loop single or a solo triple loop in the first half of the program. The second half of the program, she unfortunately downgraded it and got a repetition call on it. So it wasn't worth. It was only worth 0.48 points because of that. Unfortunately, definitely an unfortunate mistake that she didn't want, but. Regardless, I do think Wakabe Higuchi has a very much a story of a century in her, and like this, like emotionally, that second half of the program to running up that hill is still so like wow, like emotionally, like the impact it has on me is crazy. It is so crazy. Like, oh my gosh. Anyway, sorry guys. But yeah, Wakabayashi, really great skater. I honestly do see, how she can make the Olympic team next year. You know, Japan is the craziest competitive field in terms of the women's in the entire world. Is she going to make that team? I have no idea, but this gave her a very good chance, a very good, two performances for a very good case for making the Olympic team next year, depending on what happens next season, obviously, but we will see. In fifth place, oh, I hate to say this because I wanted her to win. She's my absolute favorite. And in fifth place, I am maybe not sorry, but I'm a little sad, I have to say. It's just my personal bias. In fifth place from the US, Miss Amber Glenn. Coming into this event, Amber Glenn was undefeated this season. She had won first at every competition, including Grand Prix final, which was a huge competition for her. Obviously, she won a U.S. national title again, regained that title again, and coming into here, very much all lights were on her. She's skating at home here in Boston, obviously, and I just think the jumps didn't come together where they wanted to come together. But I love Amber Glenn so much that I honestly don't care. She is the winner in my heart for fighting through these programs. In the short program, she was unfortunately ninth place. She got a quarter call and a fall on her opening triple axel attempt. Everything else was good. That triple axel fall was quite tough to see, based on what I saw on videos. Was very hard fall, but she recovered really well for the rest of the program. But definitely unfortunate on that triple axel attempt. In the free skate, she was fighting for every single one of these jumping passes as best as she could for sure. Slight negative GOE on her triple axel in the beginning, but she got it done. It was clean. It wasn't under rotated. Triple flip, triple toe was stunning. A quarter call on her triple Lutz attempt. In the second half, she was attempting the triple loop double axel, double axel. She did pop that second axel into a single, unfortunately. After I saw that, I was like, you know what? Come on, Amber, you can still go. Like, that double axel doesn't matter. And then, unfortunately, the very next time we passed, she wanted to do the triple flip, but she got a double flip instead with popping and the unclear edge call, which did reduce her GOE. So, I don't know, guys, because I honestly do think Amber Glenn is my hero. She's my role model. And so was I a little sad to see that she wasn't gonna get first place? Yeah, but what a great fight coming up from ninth in the short, not letting that beat her up. Fourth place in the free for fifth overall is a great result for her. This is her best world result yet. Maybe I did have other expectations. Maybe people did have think that she could be first place, but that is all okay because Amber Glenn is such an amazing skater, and I have no doubt that she will continue to flourish and shine. And I want her to be Olympic champion next year. Okay, Worlds just wasn't her time this year. Olympic champion next year. I'm predicting it right now. Y'all will literally tell me that I was right all along. And yeah, I'm amazing because Amber Glenn's amazing and she is everything to me. And yeah, I've seen her struggle so much through, I've been following her career since 2021. I remember her performance at Skate America in 2021. It was beautiful. It was everything. And it was like what I wanted to see. And I just loved that skating so much. And it made me a huge fan of her at that event. Following her now almost 4 years later, 4 seasons later, that, she's still such an amazing skater. She's been through so many ups and downs. And I have nothing to say anymore because Amberlin's amazing. And so, with that, let's move on to fourth place and maybe an even more shocking result for her because I think I predicted her like 10th or 11th or something. In fourth place, we had Isabeau Levito. Yeah. Isabel Levito, the same skater who we haven't seen compete in such a big competition since October at Skate America, who suffered from injury, unfortunately, came back at Worlds only because of a protocol that allowed her to return on the world team, lands fourth overall. This is an amazing comeback story that within this season we have not seen her at in major competitions since Skate America. She was supposed to compete on another Grand Prix, I think Melania Trophy. Skipped it on that. She didn't go to Worlds or not Worlds. She didn't go to U.S. Nationals. She didn't go to Four Continents, and she just comes back, moseys her way up to Worlds after Road to 26 trophy. Of course, she comes back at Worlds, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm here. Her short program to Breakfast at Tiffany's was an amazing one. It had a lot of character again. It had a lot of heart. It was everything that Isabeau is good at, and Isabeau's an amazing performer who had an amazing skate in that short program. I really did appreciate it. Um, and so, in that program, the only mistake she had was a unclear edge on her triplets, but still good overall. Again, Isabel Levito, the performer side of her is so fun and so it fits every genre. I feel like it just fits so well. And her Breakfast at Tiffany is starting off slow and nice and very, very light and elegant. And the very fun, it's jazzy at the end. It's just it has so much character. Her step sequence has so much character in it. It got a perfect 5 from the Swiss judge. I would have given it all 5s to me, honestly, and I just love that for her, for sure. Her free skate to Liebestraum, was a little more challenging. Her only big mistake was right in the beginning. They triple flip, triple toe, under rotation on that triple flow, the triple toe, and a fall on that jump, unfortunately. But good otherwise. Did get a quarter and an unclear edge on her final triplets and an unclear edge on the other triplets, but still really good. When I saw her land the triple flip double axel, like I knew the program would be good. Like I just knew it in me, and I had that intuition, I guess. But base value wise and technical wise, like really good skate for her. Artistically, I think it was beautiful. It was everything. Like I know people have been comparing her to Tinkerbell, and she had a Tinkerbell plushie and the kiss and cry, and like it was Tinkerbell on ice. It was beautiful. It was actually like I don't know. It was just pristine, and it's just what Isabel Levito is good at is delivering that graceful, elegant, very classical figure skating program. And that's what I saw from her today, and that is what she's so good at. Again, totally can make the Olympic team. I have no idea, but this is a really good story too. It's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy stuff for sure from Isabel Levito. I have no idea anymore. Okay, now for the podium. These top three, I don't even know what I was watching at that point. In third place, we have Moni Chiba, who I do think is another person who has such a good story because she was so consistent this whole entire season. I've called her the queen of consistency because she was consistently above 200, 210. The only very fluke competition she had was Fort Collins, where she was second in the short and then made it to sixth after the free. So that was her only fluke competition. She let the past be the past, and she came to Worlds. She did what she good at, and that is to be consistent. She was second in the short program with a new personal best, just a quarter on her triple toe in that combo, in that triple toe combo, but still a good skate. And she was fighting for everything in that. She was not going to let anybody push her off the podium. The free skate, only major mistakes was a under rotation on the triple sal and then an under rotation on the triple Lutz triple toe double loop. But otherwise, a really great skate. That initial triple flip, triple toe just flew. It just flew. It just flew. It just flew. The beautiful there's just oh my gosh, I should have taken a picture, but I mean I can't show you guys anyway. But there was this point where she was doing a spiral, and it was a moment. The camera angle was perfect on the spiral. It was just so beautiful. I think it was near the end of the program, but very beautiful step sequence, and then the layback spin as well. It was just oh my gosh. And then I saw her do her last spin. I was like, this is a world podium worthy free skate for Moni Chiba. And definitely proves that despite that difficulty at Fort Collins, despite not making the podium at Fort Collins, she came to Worlds and put out a free skate and a total score 20 points higher than that, which is an amazing feat for her for sure. A really great skater. We saw her just a couple seasons ago as a junior, but she is such a strong skater. Like she doesn't she's so mature. The free skate was beautiful. The dress had so many sparkles on it that I just wanted to cry. I don't know anymore. But yeah, great result for Moni Chiba. Definitely want to see even more of her. And maybe she's kind of the new silent but deadly skater. I don't know. This was a really surprising result for sure. In second place, ooh, this one's very shocking as well. In second place, is the three-time reigning world champion Kari Sakamoto, who unfortunately did not regain her title here today, but still an amazing performance from her. Really great skates. She was fifth place in the short program. This was really the fatal mistake that prevented her from getting her world title was the short program. She did do a double flip triple toe instead of a triple flip triple toe, unfortunately, but still a great skate for her. Her free skate to Chicago. This was definitely a program I was watching every single jump landing for. I was really on the edge of my seat. I was like, oh my God, Kaori, you could become world champ again. If you could land all these jumps cleanly, you could do it. So that initial double axel was amazing. It was absolutely amazing, I have to say. It just flew. It must have flown from, again, it must have flown from Japan to Boston. I have no idea. The only major mistakes, the double axel Euler triple stat had an under rotation on the very end and a quarter on the very end of the triple flip, triple toe. But this was a really great skate. When she hit that last triple loop, I knew it. Like, it was like, maybe she has a world champ sealed in the bag again. Um, Obviously, three-time world champ. She has the most experience and the most accolades out of any of the skaters here for sure. And she really can, I definitely see her as Olympic champ. She was already Olympic bronze medalist in 2022. Is she going to be Olympic champ next year? I don't know. Like, I need to be at the Olympics like right now. I cannot wait a year, because if I have to wait a year, I'm actually going to go crazy. But anyway, Kaori Sakamoto again delivered an amazing performance. She won first place in the component score overall. It was a beautiful skate. It was fun, it was fun, it was spicy, it was just so, like, jazzy, and all that jazz was oozing for her, and it was so good, that I was like, "This is sealed in the bag," but then we had the very last scare of the event. This is, oh my god. If you told me that this skater would win the world title at the beginning of the season, I'd be like, "No way," like, no actual way, and in first place, from the USA, that's Miss Alyssa Liu. Oh my god, like, that's crazy to say. Alyssa Liu is world champion, guys. Alyssa Liu. Like like, Alyssa Liu, like, as in Alyssa Liu, the same girl who retired at age 16, came back 2 seasons later and was like, "I wanna skate again." Becomes world champ in that same season? What is this? What is this sport? A year ago, she wasn't even skating, and now she's world champ. I cannot, I'm not okay. But yeah, Alyssa Liu is world champ. Like, I never thought I'd say that, because I was like Amber Glenn, Kaori Sakamoto, Cheon Kim. I thought those three were like really gonna be the main ones. Alyssa Liu blew the whole arena, the roof off of the arena. Boston said, yeah, Alyssa Liu's the one. In the short program, she was first place with a new personal best. It was a really beautiful skate, promised by Loife. Is that how you say it? My friends probably hate me right now. I'm very sorry if I said that wrong. But it was so beautiful. It was just like, I have no words. It was the spiral, the double axle landing was just, ooh, like, it was just so light. It was beautiful. And then we, to contrast with that, we had the fun, the free, the everything Donna Summer free skate. Another personal best, 148.39. Let that number sink in. Everything was clean. We've seen Alyssa Liu struggle with under rotations this season, but no, nothing was under rotated here. Nothing, nothing, nothing. The triple flip, triple lutz, triple toe, triple lutz, double axle, double toe, triple flip, triple toe, or triple flip, double toe. Sorry. Everything just went how she wanted it to go. Landing that last double axle was absolutely amazing. You could hear the crowd, like the roar of the crowd, every jump, everything was with Alyssa Liu, and she ended off so fun, so elegant. It was upbeat. It was everything. And at the end, she's like, "What the heck just happened?" Like, it was definitely like, she was shocked too. I was shocked as much as she was shocked, and everybody was shocked. And then as she exited the ice, it was so beautiful, because Kaori Sakamoto got up to hug her, and it was so beautiful. And they were both crying, and honestly, I was crying in the inside too. Sitting down for that kiss and cry number, I knew it was gonna be absolutely giant. When I saw 148.39, I was like, "Oh my god, 148? Like, that's crazy, Alyssa." And yeah, and then she got up, and then she was crying, and then Kairi Sakamoto came over, and she was crying, and they were using tissues together, they were hugging each other. It's just like, whoa. Like, yeah, like, oh my gosh, I've never been so, like, pleasantly shocked in my life, because if you told me again that Alyssa Liu would be world champion at the beginning of the season, I would have been absolutely like baffled, like flabbergasted. No way, Alyssa Liu who just came back. But no, yes, the girl who retired at age 16 2 seasons ago, missed 2 seasons, came back this season, just became world champ. And yeah, and only to her second trip to the World Championship, she got gold. If you remember, she got bronze in 2022. She's the first American world champ in the women's field since 2006 with Kimmy Meissner. Alyssa Liu is just wow, and this one is never gonna sink in for me. This is one of those once in a lifetime moments for sure. Like literally, I do not know how this happened. This is one of those once in a lifetime moments. I'm still shocked to see Alyssa Liu's name at the top of the leaderboard. I literally thought, like, no way, no actual way that she just did that free skate. When she finished, my heart was racing, and it was. I don't know. I have no words. I honestly cannot express how like what the heck just happened with Alyssa Liu. But Alyssa Liu is your new world champion. Now I will, you know, set in and I will become sane in, a day or two or maybe a whole month. I have no idea. But that is all for the women's event. And so that is all for this episode of a Teen Talk Skating podcast. So we reviewed this week the pairs event and the women's event at Worlds that just happened. Both of them were absolutely crazy. Both of them had the edge on me on the edge of my seat. So as you know, that this is not the end of Worlds. Obviously, there's two other events, ice dance and men. So next week, the episode will be about ice dance and men. It will have the same format, as in it will be my raw reaction that, very much like will drive me crazy and everything. But yeah, have a lot of fun with Worlds because if the pairs and the women were this chaotic, I cannot wait for the ice dance and the men. So that is all for this episode of a Teen Talk Skating podcast. My name is Vango. I hope you enjoyed this very chaotic episode. I surely did. I think I'm like really like confused right now in the best way possible. It feels like I'm in a psychedelic dream. But I hope you all enjoyed this episode of a Teen Talk Skating podcast. My name is Vango. I hope you will listen to the next one about ice dance and men at Worlds. I hope you have enjoyed watching the 2025 World Figure Skating Championships as much as I have, and I will see you all next week for another probably very chaotic episode. Please help me. Please send money for therapy, and bye bye.